Check out
Darksydephil the Lolcow
in Phil of the Future next.
Yeah. Derek, good luck on your driving test tomorrow.
In Life with Derek.
And so on my days off, I had 2 days off the last couple of days. One day was more just a run errands and stay at home day. But the other day I was out with my wife and we were doing a whole bunch of stuff. So we stopped at the biggest liquor store in my area. Okay. And I walk into the store with a big list of beers that you guys gave me, thinking, hey, this will be awesome. This is a huge liquor store. So they're going to have a giant selection. They're going to be able to, I'm going to grab a 10 of these, right? So there's two sad things that I realized walking into this liquor store, okay? Number one, you pretty much just can't buy a single beer. There is an area at liquor stores where they let you buy singles, but sadly, that area is for like seasonal or regional beers. So there is, I'm not even kidding, an entire aisle of my liquor store is local brews where you can buy like one-off beers, okay? That's all well and good, except that's not the taste testing that we're doing. We're doing international beers, right? The international section, you have to buy a pack of beers. You cannot just buy a single beer. So I'm like, well, I was going to get a lot. I was going to get like maybe like 6, 8 beers. I'm not going to buy 6 to 8 packs of beer. I'll get stuck with so much beer. Number one, I don't like drinking beer. I think that beer is too many calories, too filling, and it bloats you. So that's why I usually don't drink it. Okay. And I don't want to have it just sitting around my house. Number two, what if we do this taste testing and I don't like the beer? Now I'm stuck with a whole bunch of these bottles of beer and I got to get rid of them. And it's a complete waste. So that's number one. And then number two, even though my local, and it's a big one too, my liquor store is huge. It's a humongous store. They've got a ridiculous amount of kinds of wine. Like half the store is wine. And it's an insane variety of wine. They've got every kind of hard liquor you could possibly want. They've got all the local brews. Their international beer section is one case. And I'm looking at the case. Each shelf is one region. So there's one shelf just for German beers. They only have 4 kinds. There's one shelf for all of Asia. All of Asia. What? So I was pretty disappointed. I was expecting to walk in there and they'd have like a big selection. I'd be like, cool. No, it was actually really skimpy. So here's the deal. I did get beer. I got 4 kinds of beer. All right. 2 from Asia and 2 from Europe. But I got 4. Why? Well, number one, if I got 6, I would have had 36 beers. It's bad enough that I have like 20 something beers. Imagine if I had 36 beers sitting around. Like, no lie, it would have been more expensive than a regular DSP tries it where I order like 3 meals of food for delivery. It would have been more expensive than that. Okay. So I got 4 kinds of beer. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this week for the first time ever, DSP tries it, International Flight of Beers taste test. Okay. When we hit 30 goals of support this week. So here's the thing. If this DSP tries it, number one is popular, meaning people actually want to see it and they contribute this week to see it and we have it and it goes well. All right. And if I like some of the beers or whatever and I like how it goes, I would consider investing more time and effort into this, meaning I would go to other liquor stores in my area. Maybe I would even research, hey, what's a good beer liquor store so I could get more? Because right now I do feel like this is kind of like a not as good as I wanted it to be, but at least we're testing the market, right? That's how you call it. You test the market. You guys have been yelling at me. You don't want fast food DSP tries it. Okay. So we'll do 4 international beer flight of beers. If it works, great. We'll do more and I'll put more effort in and I'll go to other stores and I'll get more beer. But if this flops, then I'm not doing it again. And the thing is, I'm going to be honest, a lot of the ideas you guys had told me were going to work flopped. Okay? Some of the things that I went out of my way to do did not work. So let's see how it goes. If you want to see DSP tries a flight of international beers this week, please support the streams. Okay? And let's get it going this week. Let's see what we could do. Let's get to 30 goals. So, by the way, I'm here 5 straight days of double streams, and then we have the marathon on Friday. Now, for the record, I'm not doing DSP tries at Flight of Beers during the marathon. I'm already going to be drinking during the marathon. So that would make absolutely no sense. If I'm already having shots and everything, I'm not also going to start drinking beers. I won't even be able to taste them properly to do a real taste test. So we have to hit the goal before Friday. So that way we can do it on one of these night streams, okay? So if we hit 1 goal a stream, well, we're at 20 out of 30. We could do it Thursday night. If we have some days that things are actually quite good and we do better than that, then we could do it earlier than that. So if you want to see me here, drinking beer, testing the beers, doing a Flight of Beer taste test, which is what you said you wanted for the next DSP Tries It, then let's get it going. Let's get some support today on the stream. Let's hit that goal. Okay, let's get our first super chat of the day. Let's get our first sub of the day. Let's get our first membership of the day. We actually do have some tips, which I'm about to shout out. So thank you for the tips, but we need to get stuff rolling here. You said, don't give us food, give us something different. So I listened to your feedback directly, and I'm giving you what you want. So support what you said you wanted, make it happen, and let's see if it works. I hope it does. Honestly, I would like to do more than just food. I would like to alternate and not just have fast food every week. It would be cool if, like, maybe one week we do beers. The next week we try some hard liquor. Or not the next week, but maybe, like, we alternate. Maybe we do some drinks, then we do food the next week, and then the next week we go to hard liquor, and then maybe we can do all kinds of stuff, right? So, let's go. All right? Thank you, by the way. All right. So, that's what we got. So, like I said, I'm listening to your feedback, okay? You want me to do a different kind of DSP Tries It. Let's get some support right now. Who's going to be our first sub of the week? Now, as we all know, good morning, Jade. How are you? Jade, are you all right? I don't like hearing that you were at the hospital yesterday. I hope that you're all right, man. Okay. So I hope everything's going well. Now, as we all know, all of my support is all AI. None of it's real. All these contributions that you see me receive on stream are faked. They're all robots. I programmed them to trigger with certain keywords, okay? So watch this. For example, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start getting support so we can do DSP Tries It, the Flight of International Beers. So we need to start getting support forthcoming. So let's get one contribution of every kind. We've already got several tips, and I appreciate that. Now, how about over on Kick? I'm looking at the Kick audience specifically, okay? How about, particularly because today is also GTA 4, which you guys wanted. You wanted it back on the day stream, and you want me to start doing Ballad of Gay Tony, right? So let's get some support for GTA 4 and Ballad of Gay Tony. Let's get the first sub of the week from Kick right now. Now. Oh, well, I didn't use the keyword. Excuse me. The AI can't trigger if I don't use the secret keyword. All right? Let's get our first sub of the week immediately at this moment, right now. Well, it seems like the AI isn't working. Maybe I have to give it a kick in the ass because it didn't work. How about over on the YouTube side of things? Can we get a nice first super chat of the week? That's not a big ask, just to get a single super chat this morning. That'd be nice if someone would do that. Anyway, it looks like another tip actually came in. Excuse me, let me take a look here. Oh, God, it's Beaver Bother. Where'd this guy come from? Won't international viewers miss out on the rewards due to being on the late stream? That's early morning for most of us. It would be disappointing not being able to see the reward live. Too bad. Stay up. Thanks for the tip. You do realize the entire world doesn't just operate on your time. I have a very large international fan base. We all know this. In fact, if you're not aware, I think it's something like 45% of my viewers. It's 45 to 50% of my viewers are outside of the US. Okay? So actually, technically, doing it at these other times usually helps them more. The day streams that I do actually don't work well for certain groups that like to watch my content. Just ask Slayer. Slayer can never be on day streams. That's like 3 in the morning for him. You know? So what you're saying is, screw the Singaporeans, right? Just screw them. You can only do DSP tries it during the day. Screw the Singapore. Well, personally, I respect my Singaporean neighbors, and I'm going to do DSP tries it at a different time. There you go. Tomorrow we go back to sweet. Good stuff. Oh, my nose. I've been having some allergy issues, so hold on 1 second. I'm just going to blow my nose because I've been having some allergy issues. Oh. Okay, sorry about that. Like I said, the last couple of days, both my wife and I have had some pretty bad allergy issues. We were sneezing a lot. There's a day ago, I kept sneezing so hard, I got a nosebleed right in the middle of the day because I was sneezing, and then, oh, God, my nose. So I got to be careful today. If I feel like I'm going to sneeze, I got to try to go blow my nose quick and not sneeze hard because I don't want to have a big gushing nosebleed here on stream. So annoying. So apologies if you see me like sniffling or whatever today. Here we go. So I got a dollar tip. Have you tried supermarkets for beer? Sometimes they can get single beers with bigger budgets from international wholesalers. Oh, you know, that didn't even occur to me. That's actually a fair point, and that's something that's no extra work because obviously I go grocery shopping every week. Okay. Let's see, because I have a flight of beers, 4 beer taste tests this week for DSP Tries It. Let's see if people support it, if people really wanted it, or people were just talking out of their butts, like sometimes they tend to do, and this is going to flop, and we'll see how it goes. If it goes well, then like I said, yeah, I would do that. I would look at grocery stores and everything. I would. So thank you for the dollar tip, and good suggestion. That didn't even occur to me to do, but you're right. Perhaps the local grocery stores would have some here. You know what it is? This is the truth. I never think about liquor at the grocery store, okay? Why don't I? Because where I come from, Connecticut, that's where I grew up, you can't sell liquor at a grocery store. They have these very weird laws. It's like strict, I think they're called blue laws. They limit how you can sell liquor, the times you can sell liquor. Like actually, I believe liquor stores are required to be closed by an early time on Sundays. Some places, they're not even opened on Sundays. And you can't have liquor at a grocery store in Connecticut. It's illegal. You have to go to an actual liquor store. Here, where I live now, you could have liquor everywhere. You go to Target and they have a giant liquor section. Like it's everywhere. But I'm so not used to it, you know, for a whole, you know, nearly 30 some years of my life, actually over 30 years of my life. Liquor was always in its own place. And now I've been here over a decade. I'm still not used to it. That you just go to any store and buy liquor. It's weird. So please tag me if you want to talk to me. Because someone on Kick just asked me, how many subs to do a gambling stream? I don't know what you mean. I've heard of things, you know, different kinds of gambling. Like, for example, there's this, whatever this stake partnership thing is. Still don't understand what it is. I guess they give you virtual currency to gamble. And you gamble it away, and you're required to gamble a certain amount of it. And then if you win, then you could keep the money or something. But, you know, I haven't messed with any of that. And quite frankly, I just don't really have money to blow. I don't want to be blowing money on that kind of stuff. Can we do a bottled water review? I think that would probably be one of the most boring reviews possible, don't you think? That'd be way worse than fast food. Yes, we also looked at who's at the door because it isn't supposed to be like, they say something like, oh, I'm not even human or something like that. It's supposed to be creepy. Oh, okay, so 25 ranked players saying it would be legal to do gambling on Kick for sure. I understand that it would probably be negative for YouTube. I'm asking, how much would it take for someone to contribute on Kick support for you to do a Kick-only gambling stream? Oh, I don't know. I haven't even really thought about it. Here's the thing, okay? I don't really want to become a content creator that's doing specific content for a small or very singled out audience. Like, for example, for a couple of years there, I was doing private react videos for people who pledged to my Patreon. But the problem was they took away from the time that I could do content for the public. So I had less game playthroughs, less other shows that I could run because I had to take time out every month to do these private react videos. Sometimes it would be entire streams, 2-3 streams sometimes to get these done. And I didn't like that. I prefer to do content that's more public. So if I can only do a gambling stream on Kick and then that isolates my YouTube audience, then I don't think that would be beneficial. Sure, in the short term, if someone were to finance it a whole bunch of money, great, I made a long-term or a short-term game, but long-term, how is that going to benefit me? To just do a one-off gambling stream that you can't even watch it on YouTube, right? So I don't think that it would really work, quite frankly. The next DSP tries it is a Flight of International Beers taste test that I will do on a late stream. So let's get some support going. Let's hit our first goal of the week on this stream and get it going so we can do it by Thursday. Like I said, the goal is to do it by the end of Thursday because I can't do it Friday because Friday is the Mega Man Marathon when I'm already drinking. Okay? Just gifted 5 subs over on Kick. So finally the AI kicked in. I mean, that was like a 30-minute delay for the AI. The AI finally kicked in and started gifting the subs. It's about time. That is $25 of support added to our existing 20. We're now at 45 and climbing, nearly a third of the way. Can we get a third of the way to the goal right now? Can we get a $5 contribution, a $5 super chat, or one more sub on Kick, or 2 memberships on YouTube? Let's get to 50. Let's get to the third of the goal right now. Yeah, so I'll just say this. This is unfortunate. This is someone who I don't really have any association with and never spoken with or anything. But apparently it is confirmed that King Cobra, I think JFS, an internet content creator, has passed away. And apparently he was very young. He was only in his early 30s. I think 34, someone said. That's sad. That is very sad to hear. You know, I watched him do some very weird things during my React show. Eat snail sandwiches and drink crazy stuff. So the guy certainly had balls and did a lot of weird things on stream. And it's sad to hear that someone that young has passed away. So sad to hear. Rest in peace, the King Cobra. But that's really all I can say because I've only seen very few videos from the guy. I never watched him. I never had any, ever spoke with him or anything like that. So, but that is really sad to hear that he passed away that young. Thanks for $2, but don't say horrible things like that. Seriously. No one should ever say something horrible like that. Like, oh, it should have been someone else. It should have been. No one, literally no one should be dying that young, and it shouldn't have been someone else in place. It's just messed up. It's a messed up situation all around. We should have been at 45. I don't know why I put 40 on the leaderboard. We should have been at 45. Now we're at 47. Well, Kratos fanboy, this is like I said, I don't know anything about the guy. He says, no, since you're a fellow streamer and this guy passed away so young, does this make you want to make changes to the way you stream? I don't know how he streamed. I never watched him. I'll tell you this. I'm not going to eat snail sandwiches. Definitely not. And for me, I have made big changes in my life to become healthy. You guys have seen my transformation, how I've lost a lot of weight in the last couple of years. Fast foodish. I'm eating once a week for DSP Tries It tops. I'm eating healthy every other day. That I'm eating, I really have done a lot of more positive things. So that's the most I can do. I don't think that I really stream in an unhealthy manner. So Mozzie says, did you hear the conspiracy about Hulk Hogan's passing, that the surgeon botched the surgery and it pinched a nerve and it caused his breathing to slowly get worse till he just died? I don't know. Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, that's his real name, had a ridiculous amount of health issues and so many different surgeries and things. I don't know. I don't follow the guy at all. But, I mean, certainly that could have been feasible when you're someone who's had so many surgeries and things that something went wrong. I don't know. I don't follow pro wrestling. I don't follow Hulk Hogan. So, no, I don't really know anything about it. I mean, fair enough. Someone just said a snail sandwich is probably healthier for you than Mickey D's. You're probably right. That actually is probably a correct statement. That to have a disgusting snail sandwich is probably better than McDonald's. Someone tipped $2 says, did you see an incident with Rampage Jackson's son Physically assaulting an indie wrestler, punching him 20 times full force when he's already unconscious. Mass transit levels of bad. I don't know what that means. All the talk of the wrestling world. No, I don't know what you're talking about. I literally just said I don't follow wrestling. I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you saying that these two got into a fight and Rampage Jackson's son beat him bloody and now the guy's like at risk? I don't know anything about it. You know, I'm older and my hairline will have issues and there's nothing I can do about that unless I get like Rogaine or something, which I'm not going to do. You know, it is what it is. So that's a fair criticism. There's nothing I can really do to dispute that. You're right. My hairline isn't great. My hair puffs up. It looks stupid, right? Now, the most unfair criticism, I don't know. I mean, actually, that's the only fair criticism. All other criticisms are completely unfair. There you go. I do absolutely nothing wrong at all besides my hairline. That's it. There you go. Snow Carl, thanks for another $1 tip. No, my wife is not joining the streams. We were at 50, right? So now we're at 51. Excuse me. All right. So if you want to see the first ever DSP Tries It flight of international beers this week, support the streams. Let's get some support right now. Let's get a first membership of the day because we haven't had any. Let's get a super chat. Let's get a tip and let's get a sub over on Kick. Let's get some solid momentum moving so we can hit our goal today. The sooner the better. It has to be a night stream and I'm aiming for Thursday night. That would be perfect. But if we could do it even sooner, that'd be great. So let's get it going. You guys said no more food. We want something different. Why not do a taste testing of alcoholic beverages? You suggested some. I've got a flight of beers to do a DSP Tries It on. Let's get it going right now. I'm not going to tell you the beers I got. Like I said, I got 2 Asian beers and 2 European beers. Frankly, I would have gotten more, but I wasn't going to buy 6 packs of beer and have over 30 beers sitting around my house. All right, what do you guys want to talk about? Tag me in the chats. Let's get some conversation rolling to end the show. I've covered everything I wanted to talk about. No, for me, Snow Carl, it's not that beer would be too tempting. It's that I don't drink beer. Like, I just don't like it that much. It's fine. I like the taste, but it's too many calories. It's too bloating. I don't like just sitting here drinking beer because it's just too much. It's easier, for example, during a marathon, right? What's easier? Every time I hit a milestone of support, I take a shot, or sitting here drinking beers the whole time, pounding beers, insane amount of beverage, you know? Like, it's the same reason I don't drink like soda anymore. I stopped drinking soda entirely. It's not in my diet, you know? I got a $2 tip. Someone says, earlier you mentioned being jealous of Ricky and Justin. In your June the King React, you mentioned jealousy of other YouTubers, particularly in 2015. Do you have any advice in terms of how to handle jealousy and control it? How did your jealousy come out? Did you just tell them you're jealous? Tell who? Yes, what I would do is I would walk up to people at tournaments and say, I'm jealous of you. What? No, you go to a tournament and you play against people in a competition. You don't, what are you talking about? No, you know, jealousy is a problem, right? But I couldn't do it often. You know, I was working. Like I said, I was in school. I was doing all these things. I just didn't have freedom to just do whatever I wanted. I would always try to go to ECC, which was East Coast Championships. I would try to go to a couple regionals. Usually if there was a tournament in Connecticut or New York, if I could make it, I would try to go. But I couldn't go often. I couldn't go to all of them. And there were literally people who would go to every tournament. Justin Wong was one of them. Ricky Ortiz was another. Okay, where they just seemed to be at every event. Everywhere you went, there they are. And by the way, they're always winning. Well, you think about it. Let's see the correlation. They can afford to go to every event. They have free time to do it. They don't have commitments in their life otherwise. So they can just go to every Street Fighter tournament and then they win them. Well, I wonder why. Because they play more than anyone because they can, right? Maybe if I was able to play that much, I would have been up there too, but I couldn't. I just had other things going on in life, other commitments, reality of having to work and have a job to pay for things. I don't know how they did it. I don't know if they got funding from somewhere, investors, if their parents were rich, who knows, right? I know they weren't doing full-time jobs because you couldn't while also traveling for Street Fighter. It wasn't possible, okay? So admittedly, I got really jealous. I was pissed that I was doing as much as I could, working hard, working tons of hours at a job to have money and to make ends meet, doing my best to try to keep going in Street Fighter, and it wasn't working, you know? I told you the story, the Evo that I did the best at, which was Evo in Vegas, where I got 4th place in Super Turbo. I literally maxed out my credit cards, taking cash advances on a credit card to go to that event because I couldn't afford it otherwise. You know, I had a full-time job, but I you know, between paying for an, you know, everything, you know, health insurance, my rent, food, bills, all that stuff, and the job that I had, I couldn't afford to just do this shit. I had to max out a credit card in order to do it, you know? So I don't know how they did it. And, you know, same thing on YouTube. Here I am as a young YouTuber, because I was in my 20s, and I'm literally working 7 days a week, okay? Making videos nonstop, buying a game, playing through it within 2-3 days, videos, uploading the videos constantly, making more content for one person than anyone else that I'd ever heard of on YouTube, right? Who else was pumping out that level of content that much as I was? And I was a one-man show. You know, yes, I did co-op with John Rambo once a week, but outside of that, everything else I did was all me. All me breaking my back every day, putting out all these videos. And then to see, oh, someone did a virally popular thing and now they have 2 million subs on YouTube, and overnight every video they do gets 100,000 to 500,000 views while you're here breaking your back pumping out gameplay videos that get a few thousand views. Yeah. Jealousy. That's what happens, right? That's literally how you get pissed. You're like, man, I was working my butt off and everyone else, you know, you see other people surpassing you and you get jealous. It's just a natural thing. I think it's a human emotion that's natural, and it's not, let me put it this way. There's nothing wrong with jealousy as long as you don't turn that jealousy into something that's unhealthy or toxic, right? Like simply being jealous of someone else's success when you are a hard worker, I think is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do feel like if you then take it into like, oh, now you're going to be toxic and you're going to be going and insulting people constantly. Oh, well, that person's more successful than me, but that's just because everyone's dumb, right? Everyone likes toxic content. They're all morons, right? I used to do that. I used to insult everyone else who liked other content. Now, you know what? If you like other content, go and enjoy it. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to criticize you and say you're stupid for liking other people's content. I'm just grateful that you like mine and you're here to watch and enjoy it. So what happens is you get humbled. And now here we are 17 years later from when I was super popular on YouTube. And I'm a much smaller guy now when in terms of, I guess, yeah, actually I am a much smaller guy. I actually have lost all the weight, but also in terms of, you know, views and reach and popularity, right? So now you get humbled. You're like, well, maybe your shit wasn't the best, right? And that's why you are where you are. But I'm just grateful to have a following and an audience as long as I had. And I've been doing it for so long that I'm basically kind of like installed into the minds of so many people that I know I'm going to be fine. It just means I'll never blow up like I was, but I'm okay with what I've become over all this time, right? I'm happy for that, right? And that's the thing. You got to get more humble the older you get, especially when you fall off. Because I know I fell off. No one virally, no one talks about DSP. Oh, the viral video he made. What? No one talks about me like that at all. Like, wow, he still exists. Oh, let me give him a look. Holy shit, I actually still like this. And then some people will come by and support. And that's what happens from time to time. You get people, wow, I watched him like 10, 15 years ago. Holy shit, he still makes content. And then they come watch for a bit and support. And that's awesome. But you're not getting anyone mainstream talking to me or anything. You know, it's never going to be like that again, right? So, you know, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with jealousy as long as you don't turn it into something toxic. I think jealousy is something that actually is a natural result of hard work and seeing others who get maybe more lucky than you or for whatever reason surpass you. And then you're like, well, shit. You know, next to the $5 super chat, he says, I've always wondered why people choose you to make memes of. What did you do to get so many people to dislike you? I think there's just completely different rationales for that. But the common thing is that everyone just made me the meme or butt of the joke. And so making fun of DSP is just the common thing to do. And when I started to play certain games, I would fuck around on purpose because that's what I did back then. We're talking here about Metal Gear. Well, never did I ever think that when I played Metal Gear Solid and I basically kept insulting Hideo Kojima, which was a joke. It wasn't real. It wasn't me actually caring about him at all in any capacity. Okay. I actually think that it was just me making these jokes because thinking, oh, this won't be a big deal because I do this to everyone. But everyone got upset about me, about making fun of Hideo Kojima during my first playthroughs of Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 and things like that. And then people were like, well, you suck at this game. And I was like, well, even if I do, you have no right to steal my content and talk about it. That was my attitude back then, you know, because everyone had a different conception of what was fair use and what, you know, today we know, like, this is how you don't play as long as it's made into a transformative work is legal. Back then, no one knew that. Back then, everyone thought you're just stealing content, you know? It was a very different time. But I think that's what it was. It was the cockiness that I had and the shit-talking attitude that I had. I was very pugnacious, you know? Quick to jump and insult and fight as opposed to just being chill. I was the opposite of chill back then. Seriously, like every stream was about me yelling and screaming and getting all upset. There was no chill Phil at all back then. And I think then what people said was, well, what we could do is we can expose Phil, show that he's actually not good at games, which, by the way, I knew I wasn't good at games. I never said I was, but I would joke about it and say, oh, it's the game's fault or this or that. That was my character back then, right? It was always blame the game. It's never the gamer's fault. It's always the game's fault. But yeah, that's when they started, this is how you don't play. And that's when public opinion started to turn against me. And then since then, it's always another reason. Oh, it's because he doesn't like Kojima. He's a bad gamer. Oh, it's because his setup's completely outdated. He doesn't live stream. He doesn't direct capture. Oh, it's because, you know, he does this. He doesn't. I mean, I could go through probably 17, 18 reasons why people claim that I'm a negative Lolcow meme, but none of them make any sense when you analyze them. It's just what everyone said at the time. And then you're on to the next and then on to the next. Just like I said, it's moving the goalpost. And that's all it's been is every single time that one thing isn't a big deal anymore, they make something else up or they make something else to be a big deal that wasn't a big deal yesterday, just so that they have something more to say about me, right? It's another $2 super chat. Do you think it's the way you treat people? See, here's the thing. You can argue that maybe I've treated some people badly, but, you know, those people are not the public. I never treated the public badly. I was never someone who went out there and did political content or religious content or said insanely over-the-top risque things. That was never me. There are people you can say, well, they acted badly. They're constantly going out there and they're saying horrible things about certain groups and this and that. That's not me, ever. Never was that the case with me. I think the worst thing you could say I ever said was back in the day, I hated on people who played Minecraft and said that they were immature. It's a game for children. Now, that's false, and now I know that. But that's the kind of dumb shit I would say. It was always about gaming and stuff like that. I never really said offensive things. I never, you know, was massively mistreating people and stuff, you know? That's, you know, that's my take on it. And like I said, the people who maybe you could argue I mistreated, like John Rambo, all right, well, that's a personal thing between me and him. That's not, why would the public be angry at me because I had a falling out with my friend and coworker, right? I don't know. But again, it's just nonsense, you know? It's just utter nonsense. There never really is again, if there really was one focal point reason why people don't like me, everyone would be able to say it right now. But they can't. Literally, everyone will say something different. Oh, well, I don't like that he took money and he played on mobile games. Oh, well, I don't like that he played games poorly. I don't like that he insulted Hideo Kojima. I don't like that he begs for money. I don't like that. So there's no consensus. You just don't like me because people don't like me. And that's the case. People don't like DSP because it's a known thing that you're supposed to not like DSP. Get it? Like, it's hip, it's cool. That's the meme. You're in on it if you don't like DSP. Okay? That's the answer. There isn't actually a real reason. Haters gonna hate. I say screw them. The Philomaniacs are here to stay. You're the master of your own destiny. Get out there and finish the story. Cody Rhodes music plays. Oh, trust me, that's exactly what I'm doing. I don't care about any of this stuff. I love it when someone will come on the stream and say, did you hear what this person said about you today? No, I don't care. Why would I? I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm having a great time. I'm successful. Why do I give a shit what some other idiot said on the internet about me? Right? So here's the thing. Number one, we now know the next DSP Tries It is a Flight of International Beers taste test that will be on a late stream rather than an early stream. We're going to do this at 30 goals hit. So let's get that momentum going. I would like to do it at the latest Thursday night. So that way Friday we can focus on the Mega Man Marathon. We will not be doing DSP Tries It Flight of Beers during the Mega Man Marathon. That's going to be a separate event. Okay? Jade, you're going to take off? All right. Jade says he's taking off. That's all. Whoa! Oh, that's very true. Someone took the $1.50 and says, let's be real, people that are bothering you and saying stuff like, hey, did you hear about so-and-so said this and made a video about you? They're not saying it out of concern or anything. They just want you to respond and get a clip so they can make content. You're right. 100% you're right. So I don't care. I really don't care at all. I've paid absolutely no attention to anyone talking crap about me at all. I just say, whatever, shrug it off and just move on to whatever we're doing. It just doesn't affect me. It would be stupid for me to give it any kind of attention, right? All right, so guys, it is time for a short break because we want to start that DLC this week. You know, we want to start Ballad of Gay Tony. So thanks for the early support. We're about halfway to our goal. Let's hit that goal on the stream. Thank you so much, and I will see you in a few. In the meantime, enjoy some quick highlight clips, okay? Here we go. Oh, come on, a stupid fucking bear trap now? What? Another bear trap? Oh my... Yo! You think they have enough? Oh, no. Oh, come on! No!
Hey, don't go away. Life with Derek is next.
Then I can't like unfuck her sister. And sister.
So, but why is it in my forum? It has nothing to do with it.